guys, that's Dorota, Palicka, International Nail Artist and Educator here again, and today I'm with Sierra and I show you what kind of nails we are going to do. So I have done this hand and I will show you on the one nail how to recreate this look. And she has really weak natural nails, you can see how much they bend, so I was a little bit scared to make them sculpt, just because when we sculpting we want to also pinch the nails, and if they a little bit too weak they might lift it on the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm dehydrating the nail plate just so there is no shiny bits and pieces and there is no oil. And then I'm going to scratch the surface of the natural nail plate to make sure the nails are going to last. I mean, her cuticles are pretty overdone as well, so I'm not going to do much of the cuticle work. And then file the free edge and we're going to apply the nail form. Thank you, bye! So obviously those videos from the salons, there's always a wee bit of the noise in the background. I'm just removing the dust and now it's time to apply the nail form and dehydrate the nails. So for dehydration I'm using the blue scrub, which is a nail prep, and then clean it well again, and then an extra nail dehydrator. Just slap this on again and now we can apply the nail form. So that's the forms I'm going to use. I just peel this off and then put it on the back. Pre-pinch the form in the fingers and cut the form as well. So I'm going to take a scissors and cut the form so we can easier pinch it. I'm just doing like a two-way nicks on the nails. And then in between the fingers, so I'm just going to pinch it. Nice. I'm going also to see it, guys, how this video turned out if I'm doing only one nail. I can kind of have the camera right on front of my nose and it's not going to be as annoying as doing a full set. So I'm always hiding the client view this way so they don't help me too much with the form application, because usually that's when the things go really wrong. So I'm applying it nice and straight, and then start squeezing my form in. So I'm doing a very gentle squeezing, don't overdo it. So nice and gentle squish. And then this form is secure. I'm just checking if it's okay. Yes, it is. And during the application of the form, it might happen that we do touch the nail. So I'm just going to dehydrate this again. And then apply the Universal Air Bond. Universal Air Bond gives a really nice adhesion to the natural nails, and we are going to use the fiber gels to sculpt those nails. See, because I'm doing only one nail, it's so easy for me to keep the camera in the focus as well. And I think that might be a solution for a salon video, less stress for me. I might show you also the side view of the form as well. So it's coming nice and straight, even a little bit to the top, because we are going to extend it only this way, so it will be nice and straight position. I don't like when the nails goes down the way. It just doesn't look nice. And we're going to use the light rose fiber gel to sculpt this extension. I mean, obviously pretty risky stuff with such as thin nails, like if they're so thin they might lift during the pinching process, and it did actually happen on the thumb, so I had to file it. If it happened on this nail, then I will show you guys how to fix this problem. If it is not going to happen on this nail, then maybe a next time. So I have applied a very thin layer of the fiber gel into the natural nail plate, and now a little bit more of it at the place where we're joining the nails. Her nails are really, hands and nails are really warm, so I need to kind of be pretty quick, I would say, to sculpt the free edge. So I'm just going to sculpt it into the coffin shape a little bit longer, just in case if there is any mistake, so I can easily fix it and file it. And then that's me happy with it. So inside the lamp, when the client put the hand inside the lamp, you have to watch it so they don't bang the form, because then all your work is going to be ruined. And we're going to do kind of a little bit more than half a time of the curing. So normally I'm curing 60 seconds the fiber gel, But because I want to pinch it, normally I would cure it 30 seconds, which is half of the time, but her nails are so weak that if the gel will be too under-cured, it's going to lift. So I'm going to give it about 45 seconds of the curing, and then using the pinching clamps, we are going to pinch a nice thick curve on those nails. So just another 5 seconds, and then we can pinch it a little bit. 2, 3. That's it, perfect. So you can also double check by tapping the nail. And then the pinching clamp, we want to place it in the widest part of the natural nail. Don't put it too much. And also keep checking with the client as well, like how they are going to feel. Because you can see her natural nails are really soft and bendy. And if we over pinch it, the product might lift from the sides. Like very risky to pinch on those kind of nails. And I'm only doing it because Sierra is a nail technician as well. So cook it. And now we are going to cure the nail for the rest 30 seconds and then build up the structure on it. Because it is pretty warm in here now, I might need to do it in 2 layers, also because of the length, because I don't want the product to run into the cuticles. So that's a nice pinch. I'm really happy with this pinch, and I'm checking the sides. The product didn't lift, which is a good thing. So now we're taking a nice and thin layer and apply it nice and thin layer on the entire nail plate, like close to the cuticle but without of touching the cuticle. We also need to go to the sides as well, like making sure we've got the product everywhere. And now if you can see it in my pot, I might actually move it. Sorry, yeah, we managed. So it is not going to fall down. Now I'm just picking up a pretty decent scrap of the product to build up the structure of my nail, okay? And because we have applied those 2 thin layers, I don't need to apply too much of the product on the sides. So I'm just building my apex, one side, other side, one side, other side. And you can see the gel is really runny, so I might maybe do it another very thin layer, or that might be enough. I will see it. So that's the coffin shape. Quickly side view, cook it in. And because we have put quite a lot of product on our nails, we need to slow down the curing process, because it might give an exothermic reaction, which the client will feel it as a kind of heat spikes on their nails. So put the hand out and then put it back in, just to slow down the curing process. And once the nail cures fully, I will check the thickness if I'm happy with it, or if I feel there's any places I should add a tiny bit of the product, and then we can move on into painting a nice V-shaped French manicure with a couple of the crystals on the top. I'm actually I quite like it because the crystals kind of give it those more even elegant look to it. And we didn't choose too long length just because of the condition of the natural nails. But I think that looks pretty nice and elegant. Okay, so I'm just going to check the shape of the nail. I can peel the form down, and what I'm going to do is check on the apex, and that's pretty nice. I'm going to get rid of all of that. I'm maybe missing a tiniest drop of the product in here. And then when I shorten this nail, let me check. I've got actually quite a lot to shorten, so I should be okay. Should I be okay? Yes, I think I should. No, I'm adding those drop in here just to be safe. So nice and thin on the entire nail, almost like nothing. It's usually giving us a nice movable area. It's like putting an oil in a frying pan. If we've got it distributed all over, it's going to kind of go all over, and if it's just a dots in a one place, then it is not movable as much. Perfect, I'm happy with it now. Cook it. And then once it's cured, we can shape this nail. So I'm always cleaning my brush, and the brush I have used is an oval gel brush. I quite like it because it's really nice and precise around the cuticle area, and just a perfect size, really. We can also pinch it a little bit more if it's needed. Actually, it's not needed even. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, cook it, just normal, straight, that's it. So 30 seconds cure now, and we can shape those nails. And I will show you also how to shape it so they nice coffin shape, and then we do paint the French manicure with the tiny wee crystal on it. Sarah is doing her nails as well, so she will have to like protect them from filing, because I always tend to overfile my thumbs, middle fingers, isn't it as well?
It's always that one.
And this hand does too, like I'm always like this top is so badly sometimes like scratched, or getting like a holes in the gloves, like it's just poked through. Oh gosh. We've got those red tapes, they're actually quite awesome as well. Now I've got sharp file and not sharp file. The not sharp file goes underneath of the nail. You don't want to use too sharp file there. So I'm just tidy up the sides of the nail, and then I can swap. So nice and straight at the free edge, nice and straight. And I can show you that we've got actually quite a lot of product, like it's quite thick. So nice and straight, nice and straight. So check the length a little bit shorter. And now I need to really blend everything around the cuticle area. Nice, so we don't hurt Sarah. I actually didn't do much of the cuticle work at all, because they are a little bit overdone. So I don't want to file those cuticles anymore or cut them anymore. And then what I need to do is I need to smooth out the excess of the product at the free edge of this coffin shape nail. So those movement is a perfect one for coffin shape. Like I love this movement, it always gives me a really nice and perfect shape. And I don't need to touch my apex area. I'm just really nicely kind of like playing with my nail, and you can see how much the shape is start changing. Bring this higher up, bring this side higher up, and then smooth it out. Check the length again. I could go just a drop shorter, just a drop. Okay, smooth it all over. And now it's a time for a buffer, so I'm just going to take a buffer and buff the entire nail. And this nail is going to look really nice and thin, but it has its structure, it has its apex, and is going to last nice and long time. For a French manicure, you need to really make sure your free edge is nice and buffed properly, because it is going to show off underneath of the paint French. Then remove the dust which is on the nail, clean it with the blue scrub. I always like to clean it, give it an extra clean. So just give it a nice clean, and now we can paint. So I'm going to use the paint on French gel and my angular brush, just so we can get a nice and neat French. Let me get it nice and close, okay? So, oh no. I think I've got a wee dent. I'm not going to paint it yet. See, good, that's, yeah, I have seen it. It's just in there. And it would really badly show off in a French manicure. There we are, now I can paint. So the brush I'm using is an angular brush, and I have dipped in a little bit product in there. I hope it's nice and focused, there we are. So I'm just applying a tiny bit of the product, going into the corner of the nail. So going to the corner of the nail, and then push the product. So for doing a French, you kind of do it like you would paint the gel polish. So you're pushing the product to the place you want. And then going into the other side. So pull the nail fold down, because you kind of see what place you want to go to. So it's a place where the natural nail is leaving the nail bed. And now I can't talk if I want to make it nice. Actually doing a French all day long with the mask on is like a torture, guys, like, because you tend to hold your breath when painting such a small detail, and then obviously you've got some oxygen restrictions as well due to the wearing the mask, so I might feel actually dizzy at the end of the day as well. Now I've got some client and hi, so I'm just touching up those wee bits and pieces of the French, checking if it's good. No, it's not good yet. Evening it out, and then straight away we are going to put some crystals, because that will save us quite a lot of time as well. And then I'm going to put a tiny bit of the base on the piece of foil. So I'm just using the base gel, just a tiny bit of it, and my old brush, where are you? Here. And my gems. So we are going to put some Swarovski crystals on it and then cook it in the lamp. This is always the most scary part, because I'm always scared I'm going to drop them on the floor. So I'm just putting a tiny bit of the base around the cuticle area, not too much, because you don't want the gems to run in there. And I find it like when they stick on the base, Sierra, that's a good tip for you as well, something which we didn't do some time ago. So when we put the gems with the base, they tend to last much better than using the glue, like really much better. And that's why I can also use those wee caviar beads, and they are nicely staying on even if it's like a full design. That's a good tip for you guys as well. Like I find it like that lasts ages with this technique. And then the small caviar beads. So I'm just going to pick up a couple of those caviar beads, and they're so tiny ones. So one in there, and then one on each of the side of the nails. And you can kind of hardly see them, but I think they finish off, don't you think? Like they
make it look
so much better, so much more elegant
really nice.
as well. So perfect inside the lamp.
Yeah.
And then we are going to cure it, apply the top coat, and basically that's the nail finished. So something completely different. And actually I would like to get your feedback, guys, as well, what you prefer it. If I might do still both kind of tutorials, like when we've got a full set, when I'm kind of swapping the hands, because it's much quicker obviously than doing a single nail where we have to wait for all the curing. And yeah, that's it cooked. So I'm just going to apply the top coat. So the top coat goes really high right up to the crystal, but I'm not going to put the top coat over the crystals, because that's when they don't look nice. Like the top coat would take away the cuts from the crystals, and that's the nail which we have created in today. So you can put it in, and that's how it looks as a finished result. So I hope you have really enjoyed watching this short tutorial. Let me know down in the comments below, and I hope the quality of the video is going to be a little bit better than on the previous ones. I'm just going to take a nice thumbnail picture for those nail and glittery hacks, and bye for now.